Okay, so here we have a graph, and we have some kind of a zigzagged line that actually crosses. That's actually referred to as G. And so it's actually going more like a wavy kind of pattern, and then going down and up. So this is actually a graph, and so we're actually given some the input. So the function of G, if G is -4, then what is Y? So it's a very interesting one, because let me just write it down. G, if we actually refer as f of x, f of x, I don't know, I don't know if you can actually see the blue color if possible, but f of x is equal to -4. Well then, what is y then? So if we give the input as x, so referring to the original equation that in the videos that Salkan had actually given, that f of x will give the input, the output as y. Right, so if we give any input of x, it'll always become y, right? And so we actually are given the graph, and so what we need to figure out is actually the f of -4 or g of -4, because the line is actually referred as g. But for the time being, we're just going to focus on f of -4. If x is -4, what is y? Well, it's very easy, because we can see over here when x is -4. When x is -4, I'm just putting a little. Just gonna put my magenta color over here, or another with pink, and you can see here that when x is -4, y is -1. It's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So that's the point right here. That is the point, the black point right there. That is equal to negative. Sorry, not negative. It's equal to 1. So g of -4 is equal to 1. Let's do one more. It's quite laggy, the screen, because I'm recording. Okay, this is very interesting. If f is 2, what is y? Well, that is actually a really interesting one, because in some of the videos, and in most of the videos, usually in graphs it actually gives a zigzagged line, but this time it's given some dots. So let's figure this out. So if x is 2, what is y? So let's actually figure out exactly where f is 2. So let's see, I think we could figure this out. Here is this point right here when x is 2, positive 2. It's actually positive 2, not negative 2. If it's negative 2, then it would be somewhere here, but there's no points right there. But it is here. So if x is 2, what is y? Well, y, if you could actually just trace that line downward, it hits the point right here and goes to here. You know what, I'll just use the magenta color so you can see it clearly. So you trace the line downward, and it hits the point right here. Y is equal to -5. So f of 2, if x is 2, y is -5. It's quite an easy one, actually. And hopefully you guys can actually do it and figure out your stuff. Alright, let's head for the next question. If x is 6, now that is a very interesting one. Before I do this, just pause this video and think and try to figure this out on your own, and see if you get the right answer. Alright, let's get doing this, shall we? So if this is referring as the f of 6, if x is 6, okay, let's actually see this out. And that's a very interesting one here, because it doesn't really reach out to anything, it just stays there at 6. So we could say that f of 6 is 0. Why? Why do you say that? Well, if you actually try to trace this out, like this line actually going through and it's going to 6, and usually the lines, and usually when x is 6, it would actually give the y value. But there's no y value, because y is 0. X is 6, y is 0. And so that's actually a very interesting point right there. So that one right here, there is no y value. Y is 0. y is 0. See, like most of the lines would actually be crossing 3, something like that, but it's not crossing anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's just stuck right there at 6. So I can say here that f of 6 or k of 6, x is 0, sorry, x is 6, y is 0. Let's do one more. Solve this one out. Let's see if you can figure this out. Just pause this video. Alright, let's get doing this. And it's a very easy one though. And I think you already figured it out. It's equal to 4. And I'll just prove it out to you guys if you haven't got that correct. So j is equal to 3. 3 is right here. And you trace the line. You trace the line through and then hit the point and go here. Y, when x is 3, y is 4. When x is 3, y is 4. So you can see, using the graph, you can figure this out on your own. And it will give random questions, not just those questions. And hopefully you guys can go ahead for the next questions. Anyway, hopefully you found this interesting.